FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
There's another act that I'd like to take the liberty to talk about. Are there any questions about FISA?
There have been a number of lawsuits brought against the phone companies for compliance with the Patriot Act. What is your view about those lawsuits, and should AT&T and the other phone companies be granted immunity?
Okay, minor correction. It's not FISA. It's not the Patriot Act. It's the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Actually, the current edition, I don't make the acronyms. I just speak them. It's now the Protect America Act, which actually expired, which we're seeking to renew. Yes, I support immunity for the telecoms for the following reason. The people who are being sued have been sued because they are believed to have, and as to none of them has it been directly confirmed for reasons that I'll explain in a minute. They're sued because they are believed to have responded to the direct assurance by those in authority that the President had asked them to help collect foreign intelligence against foreign targets. We're not talking about domestic surveillance. We're talking about foreign surveillance of targets located abroad, and that was legal. They were told those two things. The President was asking, and it was legal. They complied. They have cooperated. For them to be sued under those circumstances raises a number of problems, starting with the problem of fairness. It just ain't fair to ask somebody to cooperate with the government, whether it's this way or in any other way. And I'm talking about everything from asking a storekeeper to let the surveillance policeman stand inside the store instead of outside on the sidewalk so that the perp won't spot him. Everything from that to what the telecoms did or are alleged to have done here. They are alleged simply to have cooperated with the government from September 11 until the effective date of the Protect America Act, which has recently expired. It's not fair. Secondly, these are private companies, the ones who have cooperated. And they are not charitable institutions. They are not government institutions. Their business, and it's a business, involves an obligation to protect their shareholders. That's the obligation of the board. That's the obligation of the chief counsel. It is not remarkable, in fact, it's to be expected, that when they are put in a place of uncertainty about whether their cooperation is going to precipitate a lawsuit for not millions but billions of dollars, that their response is going to be to push back. We're not going to do it voluntarily. Make us do it. Go to court, get an order. If we do that, we have to put in a mountain of paper about yay high for the record being about 4 inches, and get an order. That takes time. And in that time, we lose intelligence. And there was a time that before we got this process going, we did lose intelligence. And there was a time when the act expired recently, when some companies pushed back and we were unable to collect as we had before. And we managed to kind of sew it back together with assurances that we hope we have a good legal argument for the fact that they're protected. But if they have to litigate these cases, forget the liability that they face. We face the prospect of disclosure in open court of what they did, which is to say the means and the methods by which we collect foreign intelligence against foreign targets. And let me just stress that phrase and the importance of it, because we're not talking about surveillance of Americans here in the United States. We need and get court permission from the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court to do that. Also, this is a war unlike any other we've ever been involved in. In other wars, we knew where the country was that we were against. And it was a very simple strategy. You just go there and you frankly blast them to smithereens until it's over. And then you have a signing ceremony on the deck of a battleship, and it's over. This is not a war like that. These people don't follow the rules of war. Indeed, they take pride in not following them. They don't fight in uniform. They don't carry their weapons openly. They don't target only the military, which is a requirement for protection under the Geneva Conventions. They don't do any of that. They take pride in killing civilians and doing it in as large a number as possible, and they hide among civilians. The only weapon that we have to protect ourselves against that is intelligence. That is, knowledge in advance of what they're doing, what they're saying, what they're planning, and figuring out strategies to stop it. Either that or we can count the bodies. That's the choice. Let's get back to the telecoms. If you let them be sued, not only do we face disclosure of the only defense that we have, they face possible loss of contracts from people who think that's a disreputable activity. They face sabotage from people who are motivated to do that kind of thing. They face the drop in the stock price. They face the whole thing, and not to mention the legal costs. Lawyers, as you know very well, don't come cheap. For all of those reasons, we've asked for and think we can't do without and won't do without immunity. It's a long answer to a short question.